Disney shareholders have united to challenge the controversial Disney World and Disneyland DAS overhaul. Now, we'll explain what DAS is in one moment. MJ, I can already feel you gathering the force onto yourself for this one. I can already tell. So,
yeah.
New shareholder push is putting the spotlight back on the deeply controversial and unpopular Disney DAS policies, the sweeping overhaul of the Disability Access Service program that has reshaped how disabled guests navigate Walt Disney World and Disneyland. The proposal was filed on behalf of a group calling itself DAS Defenders, and it calls for an independent third-party review of Disney's accessibility practices. It comes after a year of policy tightening, guest frustration, and a steadily growing conversation about whether the company overcorrected in its attempt to crack down on abuse and get as many people buying its paid Lightning Lane service. I added that as an aside. The filing argues that Disney's revised disability policies are harming attendance and diminishing trust among families who previously relied on DAS for their vacations. According to the proposal, Disney's brand and financial stability are under strain from underperforming films, rising park costs, consumer boycotts, and waning trust. It further cites a controversial figure from the 2024 IAPA convention, which stated over 85% of disabled Disney guests reported being unlikely or refusing to return to Disney parks due to the Disability Access Service changes. That's a pretty massive amount of people. Disney now strongly disputes the notion that DAS changes contributed to attendance softness, arguing in its SEC correspondence that any decline was attributable to weather disruptions and that DAS-related decisions fall under normal operational business, not shareholder oversight. So yes, Bob Iger, we all remember Bob Iger's famous claim that the reason why, Disney World attendance has been so light lately is because it's very hot in Florida. For the first time ever, it has been very hot in Florida. Never experienced anything like this before. It's a completely new phenomenon. People are shocked. They get off the plane in Florida, all bundled up with their Eskimo outfits on, and they're like, why is it so hot? So, we're not going there. It's too hot. So what sparked the shareholder proposal? The DAS Defenders Group is asking for an outside audit of Disney's accessibility practices across all the U.S. parks. Their supporting statement points to negative press coverage, a pending class action lawsuit, reports of families canceling trips, and concerns that inconsistent approvals and denials undermine guest trust. Now, the filing frames the issue as reputational and financial risk. According to the supporting statement, recent company decisions are not only straining Disney's bottom line, but they are exposing the brand to escalating consumer backlash, including boycotts. This kind of language is unusual for a shareholder proposal because it's less focused on revenue metrics and more on stewardship, cultural messaging, and long-term perception of Disney's parks. That's why this is probably not going anywhere. These kinds of appeals from shareholders don't tend to ever really move the needle. But MJ, walk us through what DAS is, what it was, and what it is now.
What it was something that was extremely not only convenient, but it wasn't intimidating if you legitimately had a medical condition where you cannot wait under the sun in a line or just with too many crowds of people behind you, in front of you, whatever the situation may be. You used to be able to go to, to the entering the Magic Kingdom, to the left-hand side, guest services. You would be able to talk to a cast member and they would just, it was very simple, not so like an interrogation. And you were taken care of and you had a great day. And now it's a video. It's almost like a Zoom meeting on a video with a person.
A very high pressure situation. And a lot of the people that are applying for these things are people with high anxiety issues or autism.
Exactly.
And the idea of a high pressure situation like this is horrifying to them.
Like, how are people supposed to manage even getting on a Zoom call? Some of these people don't even like using their phones other than making a phone call or texting.
In public. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, all of this could be resolved with one thing: medical documentation.
I agree with you 100%. I have no problem getting a doctor's note and giving it to the guest services or a cast member. Some people might find that, difficult too, because I know HIPAA and your privacy, and I get that.
Right.
But if you really need it, come on. I mean,
but there is a standard for this now. Like there is a Universal and SeaWorld have set a standard for this because they partner with IBCC ESS, which is a third-party service. You apply through that service. You upload your medical documentation from a licensed healthcare provider. They review it. They decide whether it's valid, and then all they give Universal is in SeaWorld is a yes or a no.
No interview.
No interview.
No interrogation.
Because it comes from your doctor.
Correct.
Who is Disney to tell your medical provider, no, you're wrong?
The question I was asked, I remember like it was yesterday. So how does it make you feel when you're waiting in a line? Like, what kind of question is that? How am I supposed to even answer that? I don't even know you. You're not even in front of me. You're on a screen in front of me. Right. Yeah, no. Yeah. Very uncomfortable.
Now what I've heard they do is they actually bring in a quote unquote medical professional to grill you.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, they do.
The last one I did was like March or May or something.
No, I saw this. They brought in a medical professional, and my friend who was doing this asked, okay, well, what kind of medical professional are they? They were just like, they're a medical professional. And I'm like, what are they, an orderly? Is it a dietitian? Like, what's going on?
What are their credentials? Darn it.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't give credentials.
Oh no.
And it was just these cast members now are trained to deny you.
They are trained to deny you.
Yes, I am sure that there was abuse going on. But if you have a legitimate doctor's note, how could you be abusing the system? If your healthcare provider is saying you need this, my patient needs this because of a health condition, how could they possibly do that?
Just like the DMV when you get a pass for for the handicap parking.
Oh, that's a joke. The whole thing is a joke.
Yeah.
With the DMV.
So Disney made some changes to the DAS system in 2025. It was overhauled in spring 2024, but several operational tweaks were made this year. New eligibility rules for video calls. Disney added a requirement that the qualifying guest be physically present on camera during the interview. Cast members also clarified that recording the call is prohibited, aka because they don't want,
Oh, I wouldn't care. I'd still figure out a way to record it, and they can kiss my rear end.
Well, so when you go, you have to accept the terms before you go into the call, Erica. And one of the terms,
I don't care.
One of the terms is that you will not participate in a class action lawsuit.
Oh, that's bull, because they're already in a class action lawsuit.
Well, because they don't want more people joining into it.
Oh well. Yeah. I hate to bust their bubble. I'm not a lawyer, but it's just common sense. You can't create policies that already are in where laws are in place to protect the consumer. Like, no, it doesn't. That's not how it works. I'm sorry. So kiss my rear end.
Ever since this whole thing got launched, I said, give it some time. They're going to light the fire. Someone's going to light the fire on them. This has to stop. It has to stop, and it has to come to a halt. It's too many people have suffered. I've seen people with, cancer, all of these, like, oh, what are your last wishes while your last year of life of living? Oh, I want to go to Disney World, and you can't even enjoy yourself. Are you kidding me? You have got to be kidding me. That is not even right. This has to stop.
I have my friend who applied for this. She has panic attacks and, severe claustrophobia. Yep. And Disney said to her in the call, well, you can get in the line, and then if it triggers and you have a panic attack, then we can help you.
That's ridiculous.
So I have to trigger my issue in order for you to help? Like,
that's insane.
Not the whole point of this was to prevent this from happening so I can have a more enjoyable experience. Otherwise, it completely defeats the purpose.
That's where you're wrong, Erica. The point of this is to sell you Lightning Lane.
Yeah,
they didn't care about this until Lightning Lane came around.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they extended the validity period to last now up to a year if you're lucky enough to actually get it. The pre-arrival application window doubled from 30 to 60 days. They also removed the word only from eligibility language. Now, this was a big thing here. Disney quietly revised the wording of its disability access service eligibility criteria by removing a single but significant word only. Prior to the change, the official policy stated that DAS was intended only for guests with developmental disabilities who could not tolerate traditional queue environments. That phrasing created a narrow definition that effectively excluded disabilities or conditions that did not fit into the developmental disability category. By removing the word only, Disney now softened the language and opened the door, at least on paper, to a slightly broader range of qualifying conditions, but that's just technically so the lawyers can deny. They did not publicly announce the change, but disability advocates immediately noticed the revision because the earlier phrasing had been cited prominently in the ongoing class action lawsuit. It does not fundamentally overhaul who qualifies. So the changes reduced DAS volume and lowered wait times. Disney Tourist blog notes that DAS issuances had tripled from 2019 to 2023, a level the company viewed as unsustainable. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot more people are being diagnosed with things right now.
It is so true. Yes, absolutely. And it's just going to get worse, unfortunately.
Yes, there are definitely bad actors in there who are probably faking it in order to just skip the line and get their own personal lightning lane. No doubt about that. But you can't.
I'm not buying that they were ever having the as grandiose issue with DAS, the abuse of it, because the whole queue line situation's always been a mess.
Well, here's my
with
thing,
or
Erica.
without the abuse.
Here's my thing, Erica, and this is why I keep harping on the medical note thing. Because if even one person who truly needs this service is denied it because you are trying to stop a bunch of people that are abusing it, then that is a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah, it is.
And shame on you, whoever's doing that. How dare you? It's a shame.
This is where they're not going to get away with having this lawsuit just get slapped down, because there are certain things in our Constitution that protect, disabled, and if it's deemed real discrimination, then there's no amount of policies you can set into your company that is going to make you invisible to what federal law says and what you are supposed to abide by anyways as a company.
Yep. Well, guys, time will tell what we're going to see in the future of this, whether or not Disney is going to make changes, or whether they are going to keep eating from the enchilada of ignorance and pass DAS all over us.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.